Hi everyone. In today's video we are going to talk about this lovely plant, the Hoya Kerrii. Okay, so if you see this plant, it is also called by many other names. It's called the Sweetheart Hoya, Lucky Hearts, Valentine Hoya, etc. This one in particular is very popular around Valentine's Day, and during that time it's typically sold as one single leaf in a small little pot. Hoya Kerrii is actually a native to Southeast Asia, especially Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, South China, etc. And if you see this plant itself, the leaves are a perfect heart. Okay, you couldn't have asked for better hearts in nature than the Hoya Kerrii. Hoya Kerrii is a climber and an epiphyte like most other Hoyas. So it can climb up to around 13 to 14 feet tall, and it gets these beautiful flowers which are like palish white cream in color with pink to dark purple centers. Word of caution about especially the Hoyas that are sold as single leaves. If you want to grow a Hoya plant from it, that may not be the best way to buy a Hoya as a single leaf. These single leaf Hoyas, a heart Hoya, will remain as a single leaf because they don't have a stem node to help them grow. So you do need a stem and a node for the plant to propagate. And even if the single leaf does have a stem node, then it might take a lot of years for it to become a new plant. So in case you want to grow a Hoya for its blooms, then I would suggest you buy a Kerrii as a plant, as a climber like this, rather than buying it as a single leaf Hoya. Okay, but if you just want to keep it as a decorative item as a single leaf, absolutely welcome to get a single leaf Hoya Kerrii. Okay, now I have covered Hoya care in detail earlier, so I'm not going to kind of talk about peduncles, what they are, how the Hoya care is, etc. But from a Hoya Kerrii standpoint, some quick tips. Like every other Hoya Kerrii, it's an epiphyte, right? It prefers soil that is quite gritty. You could even use succulent based soil, or you can go the route of cocoa husk, etc. Like the way you would use for an orchid mix, right? Like cocoa husk, charcoal, or even pine bark, etc. You can go that route as well. I use more of succulent soil. When you're watering it, keep the soil relatively dry. Once the soil is completely dry, then water it well till it becomes dry again. These plants prefer bright light, especially give the variegated varieties. If you don't give them enough light, they might turn back to green leaves. So you do need to give them bright light. Now in this pot of mine, you can see three different varieties. So you can see the green regular Hoya Kerrii here. This is the variegated Hoya Kerrii. So you can see this has got the green center with the yellow variegations towards the end. There is also another variation with the yellow in the center and the green towards the end as well. That's also another variety. And the third one is the Hoya Kerrii Splash, which has this splash of variegation on the leaves. So three varieties here. And why have I put them all into the same pot? Because Hoyas by nature like to be root bound. Okay, so they prefer a smaller pot. If you see, this is a 6-inch pot where I have three of these plants growing. They prefer to be root bound. That's when they bloom as well. Rather than putting them in a large pot, it's better to get them root bound and then slowly increase the size of the pot. And even when you're increasing the size, you just need to increase the size by 1. They love to be nice and snug in their pot rather than a small little plant in a big pot. So that's about Hoya Kerrii for you. These are lovely, beautiful plants. You don't find them lying around in nurseries. You have to look for them. These are collector's plants. So now very readily available mostly on say Facebook Marketplace or any other online sites. But if you want specific varieties, like the Splash is a little difficult to come by. So you will have to look a little bit online to find these different varieties. But all in all, I think beautiful plants, easy to maintain because Hoya is a neglector's plant. You neglect them and you water them very rarely and don't put them in direct sunlight. Give them bright light but indirect light. They are very happy plants. So that's Hoya Kerrii for you, and I hope you can grow them in your collection as well. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.